No. Okay. I would like to call this Board of Education business meeting to order. It is March 19th, 2026. The time is 5:36.
Pierce?
Here.
King?
Here.
Lynch? Here. McHugh?
Here.
Nora?
Here.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I would like to make a motion to remove the staffing update from the consent agenda. I think we should review that separately. I've also asked for some clarification on the framework used to discuss some of the recommendations. I understand that they're administrative, but I think it would be helpful for the board to understand.
Is there a second to Sydney's agenda change? Okay, hearing no second, we'll entertain another.
I just have a motion to approve the agenda with amendments to remove item C4, this is the school-based health clinic presentation, and add ECE playground grant as agenda item D9.
Is there a second to that agenda amendment?
I second that.
Pierce?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Lynch?
Yes.
McHugh?
Yes.
Nora?
Yes.
Okay, so public comment this evening?
We do not.
We do not have public comment this evening. Board of Education updates. We'll start with Peters.
Okay, I attended the DAC meeting, I guess it was earlier this month. Jen was able to provide us with a good presentation to explain school finances, which I think was very helpful to people that are new, to everyone, but especially the new members. And then we discussed kind of our agenda moving forward. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm sure you guys can fill that in.
From DAC, that's all I remember. Survey dates and
Yeah,
stuff.
survey dates, thank you. And then I attended office hours at King Murphy. Fewer participants than last time, but I still think it's good to have the presence in the school and be available. So yeah, I think that's about it for me.
I also attended DAC, no other changes there. We toured the field house apartments where we will have 4 units available for educators. Wes and I attended the monthly student advisory committee lunch this week, and we had 9 students once again.
Yay.
We discussed safety and security in the school, and I think the overall consensus was the kids actually feel pretty darn safe in our buildings. And I do want to give a shout out to Bo, because that was one of the main things that they kept bringing up was they feel really safe having Bo in the building, and the interactions that they have with him are all positive, and I just wanted to make sure that was lifted up. And then Carrie Ann and I attended GCS Bingo, and although we didn't win anything, it was very fun, and I think it was like, it was very well attended, more so than they were expecting, so they may have to find a bigger location next year.
That's excellent.
Sydney?
I attended the after-school programming meeting as well as Carlson's PTA meeting. Both are discussing wonderful things, and they're making stuff happen. I, more importantly, want to take a moment to clarify my position. I feel like it's currently being mischaracterized as opposition moving forward. It's not my intent. I absolutely do want us to move forward. I want to acknowledge that ideas such as meet, confer, or bond pulling are not inherently unreasonable, and my concern is not that they exist, but how people meant to receive them are responding. I am wondering whether we as a board have full visibility into the staff experience and culture across our district. Based on the consistency of feedback, I'm not sure we fully understand the problem, and without that, it is difficult for me to feel confident in the solutions that are being offered. We are receiving feedback that staff and community don't feel heard, and I think we do have good intentions, but that does not always produce good outcomes. I also need to recognize that actions we believe will may actually contribute to concerns we're trying to resolve. I acknowledge the importance that there are voices in support of our actions, but the broader pattern still warrants reassessment. I also acknowledge that the board has ultimate authority. I'm worried that the current perception is that while we may listen to feedback, solutions remain largely defined by us. I do want to move forward, and I don't necessarily disagree with the solutions being offered. I believe our progress will be stronger if we can make adjustments despite our preferences. Ultimately, trust and respect determine whether decisions are going to work, and I'm asking for us to consider feedback and how it can meaningfully shape both the decisions we've made and the ones we intend to make.
Is that the end of your part? Okay. My report's in here somewhere. Okay, so I worked with Wes, continue to work with Wes in the field house and whether or not we were going to have income caps on that. So it looks like we've gotten to a good place there. And what's been happening there is I'll give him the historical context of things and we'll beat it to whatever we can, and then he'll go to the attorney. So we're saving some money there too, which is really great. We met with Lookout Mountain Water District, the county Evergreen Fire, and that we'll talk a little bit about more so later and some of the things that came out of that. We met with Trina Griego from Hickenlooper's office regarding potential funding possibilities for us. And you'll hear a little more about that as we talk about Lookout Mountain Water District. Jen and I met to discuss some edits and some thoughts about our the group of financial policies that we've been working on. And we spent a good couple of hours on that, so that was pretty good. Jen had a lot of great questions because she's living in that world, you know. So it's just a matter of implementing the things, and Wes has questions too, and how does it work in his world, and so we're just trying to meld it and make it simple. Let's see. Oh, I did the long-range committee meeting with, and there are a lot of great, the tone of the meetings is so much different now that they don't think that we're going to have to try to sell a bond to the community. Like, everybody understands, what the debt levy and, special mill and that sort of thing. And it does seem like that's the direction this particular group is going. And I think we'll see some good information. I lost miserably at bingo, and apparently it's all your fault. At breakfast at GCS this morning, let's see, I missed that I did the page turn for the ECE. And the page turn is basically look at every single page of the project and the schematics and plans for our tenants, essentially, at Carlson. And I met with, we had a phone conversation with GCS and the Sheriff's Department to review that issue that we had with giving the keys out to the Sheriff's Department, that we didn't feel comfortable giving that authority on behalf of GCS. So they're going to come up with their own MOU, and then we'll have it all straightened out. We'll get that ready for you for our study session too. And then lastly, this morning, we met with Mitch and discussed some of the questions that I had regarding the ECE and the Mountain Trails Playground project. And as a result of that meeting, and that's why you're seeing a bunch of things in your packet, we're not going to be voting on anything. I just wanted to make sure you guys had that information, and when we get to it, I'll explain a little more.
Jessica?
Thank you so much. I want to just
share my appreciation with everyone that's been hands and feet there while I've been traveling for work. Nicole and Sydney, thank you for being present in our buildings and listening. Can you hear me all right, or am I in a fishbowl?
Yes,
Crystal,
yes.
really crystal clear.
I always have to lead with that. But again, just thank you to everyone who has stepped up a little extra so that I could be away. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, so that's a really great report. Superintendent updates.
I want to piggyback real quick before I start my part is attending the Georgetown Community School breakfast this morning. It was a full house, so shout out to Sammy, the staff that work at Georgetown Community School for getting so many people show up and provide food. So it was a potluck breakfast, which was fantastic. And the line went around the gym. So Sammy gave me the microphone to speak, and I said, I'm not standing between you and the food. So I did very quick remarks and let people get their breakfast. So it was a great experience. My big update is the Lookout Mountain Water District meeting we had a week or so ago to discuss our concerns. I'm very appreciative that we all came together at the end to focus on how we can resolve the issue. And so collaboratively, we're going to work together to apply for the congressionally directed spending grant, which is coming up next week, is due. And so today I met with the engineer from Lookout Mountain Water District, and he had done some research, which I appreciated, and he gave us some guidance. And so we're going to work together collaboratively. He's going to work on the letter for signatures for support, and I'm going to work on the body of the grant application, and we're going to share the documents between ourselves and make sure that we cover all the bases and sharing our story. We have 3 paragraphs, if it makes sense to share our story. So we're going to make sure it's really precise in that. And I appreciate his support, and he's going to go back to the Water District and work with them to get some folks to sign. We will have asked, and I guess the question to you all is, do we want just the president and secretary to sign the letter, or do we want everybody in the room to sign the letter of support?
I think it's fine for the president and the secretary.
Okay.
I mean, obviously we're one of the, and essentially this is us being co-applicants with all the other
Right.
partners. So we're not just applying on our own. But yeah, I think that works fine.
So our letter will include county, city, county fire, Evergreen Fire. We're looking at including Excel Energy, Coral Energy, Senator Dylan Roberts, Leslie Smith, representative. There's a few other folks. The mayor,
Facilities,
Mayor in Idaho
municipalities.
Springs, yes. So there's gonna be a lot. We want to get as many signatures as we possibly can. Later, we can submit letters of support. But right now, on the initial grant, we want to show that it's a very community-based approach. And we're going to ask for a large sum of money, so we want to make sure we can support the application.
The fact that we entered that room with, we're taking you to court, and then walked out with, hey, great.
I want to say thank you guys for that, because I mean, that's the best outcome I think, that could have happened.
Right. Yeah.
I know it was a long, stressful, at
It was
times,
3 hours.
at times, contentious, but
It was a 3-hour tour. You're right. It was a 3-hour tour.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Is that it for your report?
For a depth.
Okay, so legislative updates?
I just put a link in there for all the bills right now. There's a lot that's on the docket by the legislature, but the big one I want to point out is there's a lot of work by CASE and CEA working collaboratively to address some questions that are in their current ballot measure to address funding of public education. So what we're trying to make sure is that we maximize any changes of funding of the public education that will increase that for the long range for support of our public education system. And so these are just some examples here. Right now, projections are around $200 million, which is a great start, but it's not significant to make really big changes. Making sure there's not a cap on the funding and making sure that we try to get more than the 2% ceiling that's currently, we're not quite sure. Actually, we don't know who drafted the wording, but they think that might have been a mistake putting that in there. So they're working to get that addressed. But these are some of the items that Case and CEA are working together to try to address that. That's my legislative update.
Jessica, do you have anything to add to the legislative updates?
Yeah, there is some work being done on a possible Tabor initiative to reduce the dollars that go back at the end of the year. But that's in its early stages, so we'll be watching that.
Okay, next on the agenda is MOU for Mountain Youth Network through JCMH. Is everybody clear on what JCMH means, stands for?
Christian online.
Oh, Sunny.
Sunny's online. Sunny's online to share information about this one. So before she jumps on, so we secured a grant to fund expand resilience building supports for our students by partnering with local public health and mental health agencies. This partnership aligns with just priorities to support student well-being, mental health, and prevention efforts related to substance use and vaping. The MOU formalizes collaboration between the school district and Mountain Youth Network and JCMH to deliver a program designed to strengthen coping skills, increase student engagement, and support whole family wellness through two-generation approach.
Sunny, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I don't have anything to add, just if you have any questions, then I'm here to answer questions. I'm not sure what the JCMH is. It's not through JCMH, Mountain Youth Network, and JCMH us through our aging grant.
You're breaking up on us. Didn't quite catch that last part.
I was just saying that Mountain Youth Network and JCMH have a partnership with the school through our general mental health grant. So we're MOU Mountain Youth Network through JCMH. That's Mountain Youth.
Are you catching what she's saying, Les?
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Does she have the ability to be on chat, to say anything on chat?
She should be able to.
Can you chat us what you were saying?
Hang on, I'll type it in.
Seems permanent, yeah, it seems pertinent.
Get to the chat. Not sure, it's not showing up.
Yeah, the chat's not available.
Okay,
It's been turned off.
now you should be able to.
Give that just a second.
And then I'll just say what she says in there instead of.
Mm-hmm. Wes, this is essentially the same agreement that we generally have with them.
I believe so. But I can't speak specifics because
You weren't here.
Yeah.
They all say that.
it'll be the last time.
I think the biggest difference is that this is new funds that are
Correct.
shifted.
Okay,
I think that's the piece that we're kind of coming back to is our agreement to accept this grant.
Okay, Sunny said, I was just stating that Mountain Youth Network and JCMH both have a partnership through our grant. The MOU is for Mountain Youth Network, not through JCMH.
oh, okay.
Is that what there's some structures in?
So it says here that this MOU is for both of them. Do we just scratch out JCMH in this document?
Sunny, did you hear that?
Yes, I'm typing more.
We can make this happen.
They are including JCMH in their MOU because they have some goals in the grant that they are working on together. But we have an MOU for JCMH that is separate from Mountain Youth Network.
Okay. We're discussing along with all three of them though.
I think it's all three are going in together with the health funds to be held by Mountain.
Okay.
Will you say that again, Liz?
I believe that they're all working in partnership on this grant, but because JCMH already has funds they're using towards supporting our district, these funds will go through Mountain Youth Network instead.
Sunny said we are discussing just the Mountain Youth Network MOU today.
No, we're not. This has Mountain Youth Network and JCMH on this resolution or this MOU. Do we need to table this for a second? Is there a timeliness to it?
Do we want to see if Jen's online? Do we want to see
Okay,
if she
Jen.
has anything to add?
Hi, Jen, are you there?
No, sorry guys.
It's fine. We figured that was happening.
Had you on the TV in the living room. What was the question?
So we were just looking at the MOU for Mountain Youth Network through JCMH, and Sunny has indicated that we should be looking at a MOU that's just for Mountain Youth Network, but this one is for both of them. We're wondering if you have any insight on this particular issue.
Oh, making sure I didn't send the wrong one.
Sunny did add that JCMH has a separate MOU.
I mean, it's in the first paragraph, that we're doing this MOU with them.
The MOU is for, yeah, it definitely states both of them in the first sentence. But this one was specifically sent by just Mountain Youth Network. I think Sunny's just correct, and they're saying both because it's a collaboration, but the grant budget and disbursement is specific to MYN. I think they're stating it because it's a three-way collaboration, and since it's an MOU, it's included all parties that are participating in this particular project. They've underlined the JCMH responsibilities separate from Mountain Youth Network, just to assist MYN in achieving the goals of the grant project. But the cost and payment for this is specific for MYN. And I believe, yeah, the total is under the annual threshold that can be approved specifically by West, but because the life of the MOU totals over $20,000 is why we brought this to be presented and approved by the board.
I mean, honestly, I hardly matters to me whether it's one or the other. It's like, but still, that's what the document says, is that we have an MOU with Mountain Youth Network, and if Sammy or Sunny does not have that understanding, then that's where my concern is, not because it's not what it is. So do you guys have thoughts, questions, Jessica?
Sunny made another comment too.
Okay.
She said, yes, Jen is correct. Mountain Youth Network wanted to include JCMH because they are working together on the specific goals.
So is she clear that this is an MOU with all three entities? And okay with that?
Is there a deadline for approving this?
Yeah, I think I'm getting back to that. Sunny, is there a deadline for this funding for us to approve this?
There is not a deadline.
There's not a deadline. And I'd say if you guys are okay, let's clear up the confusion.
Yeah.
And then as long as we're not stopping the funding, then I would entertain a motion that we table this until we get more information.
Yeah, I did submit one addendum, and they revised 9 items. But if we want to strictly have it revised to remove JCMH and just be specific that it's just for MYN, I think that they'd probably be amendable to that.
We don't need it to be removed, we just need the understanding to be
Right.
clarified.
Yeah, I feel like we, as a board, we just don't have an understanding of why it's one way or the other scenario. So, yeah, as long as there isn't a deadline, depending on the board, whether or not that somebody would make a motion that we would table it until we get more information.
I'll move that we table it until we have more information.
And I will second that.
Alrighty, Beers,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Yes.
Can I just add that while I got up to close the door, Sunny did add one more comment. And she said, I do think that we need to remove JCMH from this MOU. I will work with Jen next week and Rose at Mountain Youth Network.
Okay, great. Let's just make it right for all parties involved. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Sunny.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Sunny.
Jen.
And Jen, yeah. And the kids. Okay, so D2, marketing contract extension.
So yes, thank you for last meeting discussing this and suggesting moving forward with the plan. I just want to update you that Kimberly's already working on educating our community on the needs of the district. So my superintendent communication is going out today. It mentions the need for additional funding to provide the program we have, safe and secure schools, and compensation for our staff. And so these are some of the items here that we will continue to educate our voters on. Safety and security enhancements, recruitment and retention of high quality teachers and staff, building maintenance and operation efficiency improvements, facility upgrades and modernization, expanding student programs and extracurricular opportunities, enhancing technology and learning resources. And so we met last week, Jen, I, and Kimberly and Bill from WR Consulting. And we had a great conversation, and we're moving forward with our polling plan that we discussed last week.
Fantastic. D3, WR communications contract.
So the update I have on there is just a timeline of his polling. It's scheduled, and so it's that was one of the questions asked last meeting is what is the timeline? And so he presented that to us, and so he'll be doing a presentation on May 21st on his findings to share with the board during that first round of polling that will happen this spring.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. D4 is CCSD logo and with the new timeline.
All I ask is for approval of that now so that we can make that official and use it on our letterhead.
I move to approve the new, what are we calling it?
Logo with tag.
Logo with tagline.
I'll second that.
Beers,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lynch, yes, McHugh,
Yes.
North. Yes.
Yes, that's you. Okay, so we're moving on to D5, donation from Evergreen Legacy Foundation. We've had a little bit of a change there.
There has been a little change. So they had a professional assessment done on the school, and the professional assessment said, we understand the need to have the doors alarmed, but as they walked around the campus, they noticed that the windows that face into the cafeteria are very open and exposing of what's going on in there. So their recommendation is to put film on the windows for protection. And I believe, if I'm correct, the film will have a reflective nature, so it will kind of prevent you from exactly seeing people inside the space, but it still let people inside see out. So the request, there's a letter attached to your update that was submitted to Evergreen Legacy Foundation asking for the change, and they've been in conversations about it, and they've gotten approval from them.
So when I had the meeting for Red Bag, which I forgot to even mention, that we did another active shooter app presentation, but I showed up a day early. And so I ended up with a lovely tour of where we're going to be putting all of the reflective.
Oh,
So it is exactly what you're saying.
Right.
It's also at the entrance where there isn't the reflective, and then downstairs and then past into that theater area coming in. you know, on that second tier, when you're looking in from the outside, that's also going to have it. They're debating whether or not the double doors need anything there, because it is a double door situation, so that's the last little piece there. Yeah, so do we need approval for this one? I couldn't remember, or I remember reading the policy. Does it require us to approve that?
You have to accept the funds, is my understanding, because the board had this donation, so,
Yeah, after $10,000, we have to do it.
right, so there's $8,000 from the legacy and $8,000 from the foundation. So both of them individually under the limit, but
But one's a match for the other, so
Right.
total 16.
Correct.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the donation funds?
So moved.
I'll second that.
You guys are getting good.
Yes. King,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Yes.
All right, family calendar, and this is just more of the same, except for we have changed the trimester to semesters.
yeah, so there was a conversation had with school leaders, and I believe they talked to their staff, if I'm correct.
Correct.
And so based off of their input and the recommendation the board to look into whether we should say trimesters or go to quarters and semesters, the recommendation was to go to semesters and have quarterly reports, and so that's what the recommendation of the administration is for the board.
This is one that we need to approve.
This one is, it's just the 26, 27.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, so we need, I move to approve the updated calendar for 26, 27.
I'll second that.
Pierce,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Thorne.
Yes.
Just accepting.
This next one, long-range planning committee advisory member, is basically just a cleanup. We had done the resolution where we had added the ability to have an advisory member, but at that time, we did not add our advisory member, so we would like to do that now. Rachel was initially a member that we had put on that committee, and she is going to be an advisory instead.
And you need us to approve that too? So moved.
I'll second that.
All right, Pierce,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Thorne.
Yes.
Okay, D8 is meet and confer. I'm guessing that's you, Wes.
Yeah, so I present to the board a consideration of adopting resolution 2026-001, which formally endorses the use of the meet and confer process to gather staff input on compensation and benefits. The board is clearly committed to maintaining collaborative and respectful relationship with our district staff and values their professional expertise in informing decisions that impact compensation and benefits. In alignment with this commitment, the proposed resolution establishes a structure of transparent process being conferred to facilitate dialogue between staff and district leadership. This process is intended to enhance communication, increase transparency, and ensure staff perspectives are considered in decision-making. Resolution 2 on the last page.
Right, so we've got this resolution, and it's a draft, and we asked for this resolution to get started with the process. From my perspective, I would think that, okay, great, we've got it, let's get it posted, let's start getting some feedback, specifically, you know, and then we put it on our agenda for next month for the study and the business meeting.
With that being said, are we okay with the calendar of times to meet with staff, which would be before that meeting?
So the first meeting for meet and confer, and this is going to be sent out to everybody in the district.
Correct. It'll be sent to the principals first, and then they'll send out to their staff.
Does the board have a copy of that calendar?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the calendar?
I'm okay with the timeline because we'll be meeting that day, the 9th, right? Our meeting on the 9th?
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess a couple days after it's presented. I would rather do that than rush it.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting it started and then also looking for feedback at the same time. I think that's a safe way to proceed.
And I think we'll also ask feedback on the process to get more information, seeing if this is working or not.
Jessica, do you have any feedback on the calendar?
Yeah, I think it looks great. I thank you, Wes, for the time that you're investing.
It matters.
It does. Okay, so next we have, D9, the playground grant. So you guys have a lot of information in here. This is just information for you to begin to absorb. Some of the questions that we had brought up or discussed at the last meeting, I did relay to Mitch, and I was able to get enough answers to where I wanted to see how we could allow for them to still proceed with the funding, but also give us more time to have an understanding of what the heck is going on, kind of things, because we just now got the design plans this morning, you know, the budget, those sorts of things. So what we came up with, and it's Wes's fault too, is that they would hope that we would direct our superintendent to do an MOU with the rec district, right?
Correct.
And then what was the other one? There's another one, sorry, I've been up really, there was something else. An MOU, and then a resolution.
Correct.
And then to direct him to work on a resolution with Mitch and the rec center to come up with something to bring back to us to look at. We're not looking at that tonight, but it's something that he needs for his granting. So here's what would happen. He's got a track of turn in the grant, and then he can turn in the grant from the minutes that say we directed Wes to do these things. And that's enough for him to apply for his grant. But at the same track, then we get extra time, not extra time, we get some time to actually look at the plans and what we're doing here as a district with that particular project. And I asked, well, what happens if we decide we don't want to do it? What happens if that happens? Well, we can tell the granting authority that we don't want the money. So that's where it's at. So that was the compromise that we came.
And I'll share a copy of the resolution in my updates board, so you'll have a copy of that information before the meeting.
Okay.
So that's here, it's also.
We would like to see, if possible, a motion to direct Wes to work to get an MOU with the rec district as well as a draft resolution regarding the project for our next meetings.
So. Was that a second?
Yeah.
Great. Beers?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Lynch?
Yes.
McHugh?
Yes,
North?
Yes.
okay. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would entertain a motion for approving the consent agenda.
She's so good.
I'll second that.
Beers?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Lynch?
No.
McHugh?
Yes.
North?
Yes.
All right, future agenda items.
I think it's a study session topic probably, but a discussion about Board of Education member roles, or I guess like what our purpose is, or I don't know what the right word is, but does that make sense?
It's just
Kind of,
a
a bit of, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jessica, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I didn't hear anybody else talking, so I was asking a clarifying question. So goals for us as a board as a whole or individually?
I would say goals and roles. You know, what is our, I don't know if purpose is the right word. What is our lane, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I think goals is good too.
I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe George Welsh information.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we paid for it, so we should
We
use
paid
it.
for it, so we could reuse it.
Yeah, I think it's something like that because, we did it twice with our previous board and it kind of just, helps you know what you're supposed to be doing. And we haven't done it yet with the new board. So I think it's just helpful. Like it defines our role.
Right.
So I think that's a study session topic.
Let's take a vote on whether or not the board would like to see that coming up on the next, meeting agenda.
All right. Pierce,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any other topics that they'd like to see on the upcoming agendas?
Say, I had some conversation with Maria just about some of the I policies. Some of those might come into play as we move more online. We'll make that more accessible. I'm getting feedback. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You burble a little bit, but we're catching it.
Okay. But I
It's just
sent
like an owl.
to Wes and Lori, and I sent you a few notes, Carrie.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you for sharing those notes with us.
Right, and we kind of saw that on our, our budget, Jen had brought that up to us as well. So I would agree that the I policies are something that we should probably be looking at.
There's so much.
There's so much. And that'll take a big chew.
Yeah, there's a lot of costs that are associated with those, right?
Mhm. Okay, so let's just take a vote on whether or not we want to add that to the next agenda.
all right. Pierce,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
McHugh,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Okay. And we have some other things that, are coming back to us next time around that maybe, they're being revisited. So it's not like our agenda isn't full. Right, Wes? So Wes is going to be working with us to get that grant put together on his week off. So
Aw.
kudos to him. I'm
Nicely done.
available. I'll
Nicely
help
done.
you with the wordsmithing and, you've got a great team. So, all right.
Are we moving into executive session or are we adjourning first?
We're going to go ahead and, we gotta do that G1, read it out loud.